Dead by Daylight is a tricky game of chess being played between the killer and 4 survivors, and due to the imbalance of team size in this game, playing killer can be a rather daunting task, especially for new players. Whether it be knowing when to break chase with a survivor who has been running you for too long, or knowing when or when not to hook the same survivor multiple times in a row, there is a lot to wrap your head around when playing this role. So today I'm going to be breaking down the basics of playing killer in Dead by Daylight to hopefully help all of you out and get you more wins in this game. So what is going on, people of the fog? My name is Nico, and if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe for more DBD content from me in the future, and if this video is helpful for you, be sure to leave a like and a comment. But let's talk about how to improve your killer games. I think the first thing to understand is what actually constitutes as a win for a killer in Dead by Daylight. The way the MMR system works for killers is that you are essentially playing 4 games in one, where killing a survivor counts as a win, meaning the more survivors you kill, the more your MMR goes up. Due to there being 4 survivors in a game, in order for you to break even, you must kill at least 2 survivors, because that would mean you have won twice by killing 2 and lost twice by 2 escaping, with 3 kills being a win and 4 obviously being the top performance you can achieve. Now that that is out of the way, I want to talk about starting a game, because this is where a lot of people can start off on the wrong foot. See, there is a cycle to playing killer, and breaking that cycle by doing things like camping too early or tunneling one survivor can cost you in terms of applying pressure to the team of survivors. So when you start a game, you want to immediately get into chase and secure your first hook. My preferred strategy of doing this is figuring out where the farthest generator from me is at the start of the game, start heading toward it while zigzagging back and forth and listening to the other gens along the way to see if they're being worked on. By doing this, you are likely to find a survivor working on a gen and are able to begin chase. After downing that survivor, you have started the cycle I was referring to earlier. See, with 1 survivor hooked and 3 survivors left standing, it is easy to assume what is currently happening. After securing your first hook, you want to immediately find another survivor and begin the chase. This now leaves the following scenario: 1 survivor hooked, 1 being chased by you, 1 going for the save and healing the hooked survivor, and 1 working on gens. This is the ideal scenario you want to try and achieve, because then there is only 1 person working on gens at any given time. Obviously, there are different types of players with different strategies, so this isn't always something that can be done and achieved, but this is the basic concept of the cycle you want to start at with the beginning of each killer match. Now that we understand the actual cycle of how a killer match should look, let's talk about some of the other key points of a killer game. The first is actually chasing survivors, because without understanding this, it is hard to get your cycle in motion. Like I said at the start of the video, playing DBD is like playing chess. You are always trying to be 1 step ahead of your opponent. This is what the community refers to as mind gaming. You will mind game constantly while playing killer and try to catch your prey off guard, and this is truthfully something that comes with practice and repetition, but the general idea is always try to outsmart your opponent. For example, if the survivor is running around a loop with a down pallet, you can act like you are walking around it, and as they begin to vault, double back and hit them on the other side. Think of it this way: if you just follow the exact route that the survivor is taking while in chase, it is very easy for them to predict your movements, mind game you, so trying to be 1 step ahead is key. And like I said earlier, this is something that you really just have to practice and play a lot of killer in order to learn the different mind games for each of the maps and the different loops that you'll find. There's mind games on both killer and survivor side of things, so while you're trying to mind game your opponent, the opponent is trying to mind game you. It's just something that takes a lot of practice. Another big thing to understand is hook phases. Each survivor in the game can be hooked 3 times total, the first 2 leaving them hanging waiting for help, and the third being the death hook. Now, many will say it is a courtesy to hook everyone in order and not rush 1 survivor or another to death hook, and while there is some truth to this, if you try to hook every survivor once, then twice, then 3 times, rather than hooking survivors multiple times in a row before others, you will likely waste a lot of your time. There are a number of strategies that can be used to manage survivors' hook states, whether it be bouncing back and forth between 2 survivors or other variations of hooking and chasing survivors. I find it best to base all of it on the cadence of the game. For example, if I start strong and I go to hook very quickly and survivors are struggling to finish gens because of this, I will try to hook everyone because it applies pressure to multiple players in the game. However, say we are in the middle of a game and there are 3 gens left, the survivors have been playing super well, and I know there is someone already at stage 2 of hook state, and 1 more hook will kill them. I may choose to single out that survivor because it will remove them from the game, making it that much more difficult for the remaining survivors to finish off the rest of the generators. I find paying attention to the survivors' hook states and taking chases based on the status of the match leads to me securing more wins. Slugging is another crucial part of Dead by Daylight, and slugging is the act of knocking a survivor rather than picking them up and starting chase with another survivor on the opposing team. This is a delicate balancing act and should only be done in certain scenarios, because if you're just downing people and running off without a plan, the other survivors will simply pick up their teammate and you will have wasted precious time. Instead, slug with intent. For example, if you down a survivor and see another in close proximity, especially if the survivor still up is in an injured state, that is an ideal time to try and slug and pursue another chase. Now, this can change here very soon, because currently Behavior is working on an update to the Mori system, where after you either have people on the hook or you down the whole team, it will automatically count as a win. All survivors will be sacrificed and it will go into the Mori screen. So slugging is going to change very dramatically here depending on how this future update goes, but this is still something I wanted to address. Now, camping is a bit of a sore subject for a lot of Survivor players, because there are many times that it can be done in poor taste. However, camping is an effective strategy in many scenarios if done properly. For one, sitting right on top of a survivor you hooked is a waste of time, quite frankly, because many survivors will see you and simply choose to sacrifice that player to finish more gens and get out of the game. Rather, do what I call proxy camping. This is moving around the area you have hooked and searching for scratch marks and clues that indicate another survivor is coming for the save. By doing this, you are more likely to bait another survivor to the hook and oftentimes end up trading which survivor is hooked, applying a lot of pressure to the enemy team. Now, this is a strategy that is reserved for certain circumstances. This is not something I recommend doing on first hook, but once you get a little farther into the game, maybe if one survivor's already been killed, the other team is playing well around you, this can be an effective strategy to secure an extra couple hooks and apply even more pressure to that team. The final tip that I'm going to give you is the most important one, and that is have fun with DBD. This game can be incredibly frustrating, especially on the killer side of things, and I understand that. But getting frustrated can lead to poor decision making and worse performances and developing bad habits. Rather, take your mistakes as a lesson and apply it to the next chase, game, or scenario so you improve rather than remaining stagnant. DBD is a video game, and at the end of the day, you want to be having fun, so understanding that you will not 4K every game and there will be games that the other players are just better will help you continue having fun and ultimately make you a better killer in the long run. But that is it for this killer guide video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if any of these tips helped you guys out. Like I said at the start of the video, make sure you are subscribed if you found the video entertaining and helpful, so that way you see more DBD content from me in the future. I stream DBD over on Twitch at Nico Gaming. Be sure to check that out. Link is in the description below so you guys can check it out. A lot of fun over there. I try to stream every day. I'm off work 3 to 4 hours, and then you see a lot of the shorts here. Also check out my other platforms where I play Nintendo Switch stuff on Nico Gaming, my other channel. Really fun stuff over there. We talk exclusively Nintendo Switch. Also, check out Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink you put in your water. Super good. You shake it up. 0 sugar, 0 calories. It's just really good stuff. If you're not into energy drinks, be sure to check out their hydration flavor. No caffeine in there. And 10% off with code Nico, so check that out as well. But like I said, that is it for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the fall.